Hi there, today I'd like to show you my brand new DIY mini paint can wood stove. And it has an added twist, you're gonna love it, that I'm gonna show you towards the end of the video. But for right now, let's go ahead and talk about this. So let me introduce you to Bessie, okay? She's kind of like a mini robot. I just love the look of it. You don't know if it's gonna run off or if it's gonna heat wood. But anyways, this is a great type stove that you can use for a tent stove, you know, out camping, ice fishing, in a hunting blind. If you need emergency heat, let's say in your garage, in your greenhouse, it'll get the heat up and going, but it's not designed to be a long-term solution. This is a short-term solution. The reason for that is it's built with a paint can rather than solid steel, all right? So this is a great way just to get you started. But wait till you see the twist I'm going to show you later on. But what I want to do right now is I want to go over some of the features and show you how it was made. I just love this thing. All right, so you can see it has 4 legs. These are just 6-inch, I guess you call them carriage bolts. And on the inside, let me open this up so you can see I got a little latch here. I made it so the whole paint can opens, the whole front of it. A lot of people will make, because I've seen this in probably about 4 or 5 different places on different YouTube channels, but they're all a little different. Most of them will have like a door cut in the front part, okay? Or they'll replace it altogether with just a piece of metal to go on. But by leaving this door, you have the recesses in the paint can, so when I close it, it actually sits a little bit better. So let's talk about the front of this. What I did was I put a handle so I could open and close it, but I'm probably going to have to use gloves once the thing has been burning for a while. Then I put a latch. That's just a regular hinge, and I bent the hinge in half, so when I close the door, that'll go right over. And you could put a twig or something in there just to keep it closed if you want, but I just leave it open. Then what I did is for ventilation, what this is here, when you lift it up, look at that, there's some holes, so I get good ventilation, and if there's too much, I want to slow it down, just push that down. And on this side, I have hinges also for the door. So, and it opens all the way up. And you're going to find this is a very important feature when I show you my new twist. Now inside, if you look inside, what I have here on the bottom is I have a little tray that I made. All that is just, I think it's 1/4-inch mesh that I use for siphoning out dirt. I had a little dirt sift, I guess you could say. I took that apart and I bent it so it would stand up on the bottom. Did you see that? How it's bent kind of like that there? And kind of goes up along the inside of the round can. This way all the wood is going to sit on there, and it's going to give more ventilation underneath to help the wood to burn better. Then on the top, I cut out a hole, and what I did is I measured a 3-inch stovepipe. Now this stovepipe is designed so, again, you can add different parts, it moves different ways, so you can actually have it go to a longer stretch and have it go right outdoors, especially if you're using it in a tent or any kind of a shelter. You don't want that smoke inside, so it's going to help to get the smoke right out. Isn't that great? I tried to make this with parts that I have just around the house. So rather than going out and buying new cans and new this, new that, the only thing I really had to buy here was the hinges, because I was fresh out of hinges, and the 3-inch pipe. I already had paint cans from some previous projects I was doing. Unfortunately, this paint can has the lining or the coating on the inside. Now that's what I happen to have, so I used it. I figured my first burn, I'm going to burn outside, so that's going to help to burn that off. But I would suggest you get the clean paint cans, and you can get those online at Amazon. Matter of fact, I'll leave you a link in the description below where you can get yours if you want to use them. So, other than that, what is there to tell you about it? The legs are adjustable. I could bring them up and down just by adjusting those lug nuts there. And that's pretty much it. So we're going to go outside and try it. But before we do, remember I said there's another thing you can do with it? Well, let me go ahead and tell you what it is. If you think you know, go ahead and put it in the description to see if you're right. So this is, like I said, a regular wood stove, but if I straighten this out, okay, so it goes a little straighter. You're gonna love this. Okay, make it go a little higher, let's say. Let's see, I want that to point up a little bit. There we go, that's gonna work good. You see where I'm going with this? Now what I can do is, I can take it and I can put it this way, and it becomes a rocket stove. So if you need more heat, it's the middle of the night and you're in your tent and it's pretty cold in here and you want it to get really hot fast, you can put it this way, just feed your wood in this way and light it up, and it's gonna make quite a big flame. That's why I made it this way here rather than just cutting a hole, because there's not gonna be any resistance and that heat is gonna come up. Now remember, a rocket stove burns a lot hotter than a wood stove. So if you're going to use it as a rocket stove, use it, get your heat. If you need to cook, you can put some kind of a grating or a couple bars or a mesh of some sort, and you can put your frying pan and cook, because this will cook. It's going to be a lot of heat. But use it, get warm, and stop it, because with the major heat that a rocket stove is going to put off, you don't want it to be in this can for too long. Just be watching, be careful. So what else is there to say about it? Some of the questions people ask is, how do I put it out? Well, I'm using it outside, especially in the winter, so I'm just going to put snow in it if I need to. Let it burn off. Does it put off carbon monoxide? Everybody asks me that, folks. Every open flame puts off carbon monoxide, all right? Even a candle puts it off. So the more open flame, the more carbon monoxide. So the thing is, if you're using it in a garage or greenhouse and you're worried about it, have a carbon monoxide detector, fire extinguisher. So have all those safety devices and you're going to be all set. So let me go ahead and put the stove back to how it's supposed to be. Isn't that cool? I love this thing. And we're gonna go outside and we're gonna see how Bessie works. You ready, Bessie? Let's go inside. All right, we're ready to get my mini stove going. So the first thing is to load it up with some wood. Let's see. I have one of my fire starters that I made. I'm going to put that here. Put some wood on top of that. Let's see how we can get this thing going. By the way, it's 9 degrees out here this morning. Brr. See that? Okay, put some wood out in the back as well. There we go. Let's get this thing going. Oops. Let's keep all the wood inside. Now, when dealing with this, it's great to have some nice thick gloves. Mine are in the house where Luca's gone to get them right now. So like I said, you can use this for an ice fishing shack, for a deer blind, for any kind of tiny, like a garage or a greenhouse, something that you need to get heated up fast, so you're not going to be doing it for a really long time, but it does put off a lot of heat. You can see it's coming out. Now, if you're going to be doing this for yourself at home, as you can see, I didn't seal around here. You're going to want to put a nice seal, maybe with some JB Weld. Stuff's coming out a little bit. maybe with some JB Weld around there. But for this experiment, I didn't do that, especially because I wanted to be able to move this around to show you how it can be used as a rocket stove as well. So look at that, the smoke's coming out of there, woohoo! And here comes my gloves. There we go. I'd like to open it, see what's going on inside there. And unfortunately, I made all this with metal type thing, so you might want to find something a little bit different that you can grab. But I don't want to be grabbing it and sizzling off my fingers. On hand, that's actually a 2x4. Ah, well, there we go. Isn't that beautiful? Makes you want to go camping. But the problem with camping in the snow, that's cold. Alright, so there you have it, your miniature paint can wood stove that subs into a rocket stove to be able to start things up really quickly. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. A lot of that smoke is that paint on the inside burning off right now, so I don't need to worry about it later on. So with that, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do it so you can feel the warmth. You'll actually feel better about yourself and be warmer once you do. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye now. Oh, it's starting to come out.